Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Hey Krishna 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 Rakshama Krishna 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 Pakima Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pakima Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rama Raghava Rakshama Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pakima Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Desha Tarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jaya Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Gopala Govinda Ram Sri Madhusudana Om Apavitra Pavitrova Sarva Avastang Gatopi Va Yatsmaret Pundarik Akshang Sabaya Abhyantara Suchihi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Om Ajnana Timarandasya Jnana Anjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitang Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangang Lang Hayate Girim Yat Kripatamahang Vande Sri Gurum Dina Charanam Yat Kripatamahang Vande Parama Ananda Madhavam Trinadapi Sunichena Toror Eva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari Hare Nama Harinama eva kevalam kalau nastyeva gatiranyata Guru mukha padma vakya Chitete Korea Aikya Arna Koriho Mane Asha Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namah Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today is part 2 of the chapter 89 of Krishna book. This chapter is entitled The Super Excellent Power of Krishna. And this episode is called The Super Excellence of a Krishna Bhakta. Srila Prabhupada now writes, to execute religious principles means to come to the platform of perfect knowledge. If one comes to the platform of perfect knowledge, then he or she will be uninterested in material affairs. Perfect knowledge means knowledge of one's own self and knowledge of the Supreme Self. The Supreme Self and the individual self, although one in quality, are much different in quantity. This analytical understanding of knowledge is perfect. For simply to understand, I am not matter, I am spirit, is not the perfect knowledge. The real religious principle is bhakti, devotional service. And this is confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna says at the end, Sarva dharman parityajya Mamekam sharanang vraja ahang twang sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Give up all other religious principles and simply surrender unto me. Therefore, in this context, the word dharma applies only to Vaishnava dharma or Bhagavat Dharma, following which all other good qualities and advancement in life are automatically achieved. The highest perfectional knowledge is knowledge of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. According to Krishna himself in the Gita, Krishna cannot be understood in full by any process of religion other than bhakti or devotional service. Therefore, the immediate result of perfect knowledge is achieved by executing bhakti or devotional service. After attainment of knowledge, one becomes uninterested in the material world. This is not because of dry philosophical speculation. The devotees become uninterested in the material world, not simply because of theoretical understanding. Rather, they become disinterested because of their practical experience. So when a devotee realizes the effect of associating with the Supreme Lord, then he or she naturally hates the association of the so-called society, friendship, and love found within this material world. And this detachment is not dry, but is due to achieving a higher status of life by relishing transcendental mellows. It is further stated in Srimad Bhagavatam that after the attainment of such knowledge and such detachment from material sense gratification, one's advancement in the 8 opulences attained by mystic yoga practice, such as anima, lagima, and the prapti siddhis, is also achieved without separate effort. The perfect example is the great Maharaj Ambarisha. Ambarish was not a mystic yogi, but he was a great devotee, even though he was a king. Yet, in a disagreement with Maharaj Ambarish, the great mystic Durvasa was defeated in the presence of Ambarisha's devotional attitude. In other words, a devotee does not need to practice the mystic yoga system in order to achieve power. The power is already behind the pure devotee by the grace of the Lord. It is just as when a small child is surrendered to a powerful father. All the powers of the father are behind the small child. So when a person becomes famous as a devotee of the Lord, one's reputation is never to be extinguished. When discoursing with Ramananda Roy, Lord Chaitanya questioned, "What is the greatest fame?" And Ramananda Roy replied that to be known as a pure devotee of Lord Krishna is the perfect fame. The conclusion, therefore, is that Vishnu Dharma, or the religion of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is meant for persons who are muni, thoughtful. And by proper utilization of such thoughtfulness, one comes to the stage of always thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By thinking of Krishna, one thus becomes free from the contamination of the faulty association of this material world. Then one becomes peaceful. This world is always in a disturbed condition because of scarcity of such peaceful devotees in human society. Unless one is a devotee, one cannot be equal to all living entities. A devotee is equally disposed towards animals, human beings, and all living entities because the devotee sees every living entity as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. This is clearly stated in the Ishopanishad. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmani evanupasyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato na vijagupsate. One who has come to the stage of seeing all living beings equally does not hate anyone or favor anyone. The devotee also does not hanker to possess more than he or she requires. The devotees are therefore akinchana, for in any condition of life, the devotee is satisfied. It is also said that a devotee is even-minded whether one is in heaven or in hell. A devotee is callous to all subjects other than one's engagement in devotional service. And this mode of life is the highest perfectional stage from which one can be elevated to the spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead. The devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are especially attracted by the highest of the three material qualities, namely sattva, or goodness. And the qualified Brahmana is the symbolic representation of this goodness. Therefore, the devotee is attached to the Brahmanical stage of life. The devotee is not very much interested in passion or ignorance, even though these qualities also emanate from the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. In Srimad Bhagavatam, the devotees are described as Nipuna Buddhayaha, which means that they are expert and the most intelligent class of men, uninfluenced by either attachment or hatred. The devotee lives peacefully and is not agitated by the influence of passion and ignorance. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, those who take up the Sankirtan Yajna are called Sumedasa, highly intelligent. And it is one of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya that only the devotee can be peaceful, because the karmi, the jnani, and even the yogi have some selfish personal interest. But the devotee has no interest other than the satisfaction of God. It may be questioned here why a devotee should be attached to the quality of goodness in this material world if one is supposedly transcendental to all material qualities. And the answer is that there are different kinds of people existing in the modes of material nature. Those in the mode of ignorance are called Rakshasas. Those in the mode of passion are called Asuras. And those in the mode of goodness are called Suras, or demigods. So under the direction of the Supreme Lord, these three classes of men are created by material nature. But those in the mode of goodness have a greater chance to be elevated to the spiritual world, back home, back to Godhead. Thus, all the sages who assembled on the bank of the river Sarasvati to try to determine who among the three deities is the supreme predominating deity became freed from all doubts about Vishnu worship. All of them thereafter engaged in devotional service, and thus they achieved the desired result, and they all went back to Godhead. Those who are actually eager to be liberated from material entanglement would do well to accept at once the conclusion given by Srila Shukadeva Goswami in the very beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam. For it is said there that hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is extremely conducive to factual liberation. And the same fact is herein confirmed by Sutta Goswami. If anyone who is traveling aimlessly within this material world cares to hear the nectarian words spoken by Shukadeva Goswami, then certainly he or she will come to the correct conclusion, which is simply by discharging bhakti, devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one will be able to stop the fatigue of perpetually migrating from one material body to another. In other words, one who becomes fixed in loving devotional service to Vishnu will certainly be able to get relief from this journey of material life. And the process is very simple. One has to give oral reception to the sweet words spoken by Shukadeva Goswami in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, another conclusion is that we should never consider demigods, even Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, to be on an equal level with Lord Vishnu. Because if we make that mistake, then according to the Padma Purana, we are immediately categorized as atheists. Here is the verse. Yastu Narayanang Devang Brahma Rudradi Daivatai Samatvenaiva Viksheta Sapashandi Bhaved Dhruvam. And also, in the Vedic scripture known as Hari Vangsha, it is stated that only the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, is to be worshipped, and that the Hare Krishna mantra or any such Vishnu mantra is always to be chanted. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. In the second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Brahma says, Srijami tan niyukto hang haro harati tad vasha vishvang purasha rupena paripati tri shakti drik. Both Lord Shiva and I myself are engaged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to act in different capacities under the direction of Krishna. And it is also stated by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ekale Ishwara Krishna Arasabha Britya. The only master is Krishna, and everyone else, regardless of category of life, are but servants of Krishna only. In the Gita, Lord Krishna confirms, Mattak paratarang nanyat kinchid asti dhananjaya Mayi sarvam idang protam sutre manigna iva. There is no truth superior to Krishna. So also, Shukadeva Goswami, in order to draw attention to the fact that among all the Vishnu Tattva forms, Lord Krishna is 100% the Supreme Personality of Godhead, narrated the story of an incident which took place when Lord Krishna was present 5,000 years ago. And this took place in Krishna's abode known as Dwaraka. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Namaste Narasimhaya Praklada Klada Dayane Hiranya Kashipurvaksha Shilatankanakalaye Ito Nrsinga Parato Nrsimho Yato Yato Yami Tato Nrsimha Bahir Nrsingo Hridaye Nrsingo Nrsimhamadin Sharanang Prapadye Nrsimhamadin Sharanang Prapadye Tavakara Kamala Vare Nakamad Bhuta Sringam Dalita Hiranya Kashipa Tanu Bringan Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Keshavadrita Narahadi Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jagadish Jaya Jagadisha Hare Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Hare